So the video you guys have been waiting for. You know what I noticed? Look at the headlights of the iX and the Tiggo 8 Pro. They almost look identical from the side view. Anyway, today I'm going to drive the Tiggo 8 Pro. I did the interior walk around. Okay, it unlocks by itself. I did the interior walk around earlier, and today I'm gonna test drive the car. Okay, darling, I think you can adjust the seats a little bit lower. Come, push it down with me. Yes. Is it more comfortable like that? 应该开不到啊。Put down your arms. 记得你们的 back 放来，你放后面。记得你下来先。You come down first. Let me put it behind. Oh, sorry. Oh. Alright. Let's pull the lever. There we go. Okay, pretty tight. Okay, seatbelts. Big logo. Seatbelts. Okay. Let's go for a drive.
Normal mode entered.
Whoa. Interior is very, very beautiful. Very well built. Everything feels very good to the touch. The buttons, especially the window switches, straight out of Mercedes-Benz. I mean, it looks like it. Even the start button. Alright, time to go. Alright. 2-liter engine with I think it's a dual clutch, because on the get-go it doesn't really creep, and then when I touch the throttle it sort of lurks a bit. This feels like DSG transmission fitted to the 1.4 turbos around 10 years ago. This feels like that. At least the sensation of it. Okay, which, and then I suspect could be, oh yeah. Now if you are attracted by the design of this car, the interior build quality of this car, and you really consider it, I would strongly advise you to go for a test drive. It's suitable for people who usually drive from the get-go with a rather heavy throttle. At least that's what I think, you know. People who drive like Honda Cities, Vios, Myvis and all that, right? I mean, I'm not generalizing, but I am generalizing, okay? These type of drivers usually would have like a, on the get-go, they go like, you know, a heavier throttle, or even HRVs included, okay? For those of you who were used to small engine cars and do a moderately heavy, why is that Harriet? Why is this person driving like that? Colossal idiot. He turned out from the junction and he continued driving on the opposite lane for a good 20 meters before he merged in. Why? Anyway, let's keep to the left. Bugger off with this guy. Whoa! Morning traffic is I'm on the wrong lane. I'm on the wrong lane. Let's do my thing. Thank you so much, sir. Okay, I like the camera. The camera is fantastic. Okay, I just drove my colleague's Porsche 992, and that car has a horrible, horrible, horrible camera. And this one just go on by itself, and it leaves the car transparent. I think the camera of this car is really good. Now, why I say that if you are interested with this car, you have to go for a test drive, because for those of you who are used to cars with torque converters or big engines, I'm talking about people who are used to German cars, where you have a more slow and gradual throttle input. For those of you who are used to drive like that, I'm talking about people who come from BMW F10s, Mercedes W212s. Yeah, those of you will feel that the car is lurking or jerking from the get-go because of the coupling of the DCT. In no way this is as good as the best DCT in the market, which is Porsche's PDK. Alright, it's not even near. And surprisingly, driving this just now from rolling off to here also reveals how good Proton's dual clutch system is, where I don't feel that kind of lurking. Okay, but remains to be seen. And another thing is that this car is now at 23,000 km of journalist driven mileage, which aka abuse, and there is a light showing this car is due for maintenance. Alright, so whatever that I am experiencing is a car that is due for service. I believe the first 20 over 1,000 service should be a major one. Okay, the first 20 over 1,000 should be a major service. But other than that, everything is fantastic. Sorry, I take back the word fantastic. Everything is operating as per what it's supposed to be. It's just the part with regards to rolling off from a start. Too gradual a throttle, you get a jerk or a lurk. But if you apply moderately 1/3 kind of pedal travel, at least 1/3, then it goes off as per what you expect from drivers who drive Beza, Iris, Vios. Usually they do a moderately heavy throttle to roll off. So for those people, you'll be fine with this car. Okay, I'll continue the video later at higher speeds, and of course after I paid toll. But other than that, everything seems lovely. Steering wheel angle, I felt is a little bit too, like that. Okay, from side view, the steering wheel angle, I mean, it should be a little bit like that, but it's almost like that. So, and we'll wait one day when, now cars can do height adjustment and telescopic adjustment. We'll wait one day when somebody came up with a tilting adjustment. Alright, until then, there's no such option. I mean, if I do this, it's gonna block everything. If I put it up, I can see bits of it. But the Porsche 992, the two outer dials are completely unviewable from whichever steering angle you adjust. See, it lurks when I'm applying soft throttle. On paper, it's very impressive. 2-liter turbo, 260 horsepower, 390 was it? Newton meters of torque. That is pretty incredible from the numbers. And specification wise, this car is loaded. 9 airbags, all kinds of safety systems. I'm getting used to it now that when I drive a Chinese car, they are always on hyper alert. The safety systems are always telling you things, assuming you are an American. Maybe they are preparing for American export. Okay, that's a joke, okay? But basically, it's trying to warn you at everything that is on the road, Oh, somebody's beside you, somebody's behind you, and all that. I'm sure there are ways to switch it off. I'm sure there are, okay? Now the other thing, these are pretty bad roads. I'm now talking about the pliancy. So Why? What happened just now? All of a sudden, it lights up its double signal. I didn't touch anything. Oh, the car cut in, and my car went double signal. Okay, this is hyper alert. Okay. Now, ride pliancy. Later on, I will check the tire pressure because as of now, the ride doesn't feel pliant. Okay, it almost feels like a sporty ride. It's sending in quite a bit of stuff into the cabin, more so than the Proton X90. Okay, but from where I'm sitting, from what I'm looking at, from what I'm touching, I think it's way more premium than the Proton X90. And exterior looks as well, it looks prettier. Okay, but just now I was looking at the back seats. I think it's tighter. Okay, I have to climb to the back to know, to properly assess it, but from the looks of it, it is tighter. Okay, I have no figures of its dimensions, but visually it looks a little bit smaller, probably a tiny bit. Alright, probably also because the X90 is of a squarish design. This one is more fluid. See, this type of undulation whereby the road smoothly curves down and up, it deals with it no problem. Alright, it's just the bad roads, you know, the bad roads, the rough patches, the spilled cements and all that, those get sent into the cabin, but that could be a result of overinflated tires usually. If it is not overinflated, then it has definitely something to do with the way the suspension rebounds, you know, in terms of compression and depression. Anyway, decompression, sorry. These ones, fantastic, you know, it deals with it well. So, yeah. You know, when I reviewed the Cherry Omoda, everybody asked me, how is the car like? You know, I say that car is a bargain, you know, it's 100,000 only. Its interior looked like a 200,000 ringgit car. Its exterior looks like a 300,000 ringgit car. But the drive goes back to 100,000. You know, no short changes there, but no extras either. Alright, so far it's pretty consistent. China cars, when it comes to the driving side of things, like you go back roads, B roads and all that, right? They are not near their, you know, their international rivals yet. You know, over the past 10 years, we have seen how Korean cars improve in handling. They were pretty bad at it 10 years ago. Now everybody's pretty good at it. Even the Japanese boys, you know, after Mazda improved, everybody has to improve. The continental, the Europeans, of course, they've always been really good at it. Now, China cars, slowly they are improving. But again, this again shows Proton's work with Geely is real, you know, because from the get-go, the X70, the X50, they all, suspension-wise, they are superior to the current crops of China cars that comes into Malaysian market that I have tested. Okay, they are superior to that in terms of suspension, in terms of steering input. You know, now inherently the chassis of the car and all that has its limitations, but I trust Proton now when they say that they have infused their ride and handling knowledge, which they gained from Lotus and probably Mitsubishi back then. Because even till now, all these newer ones, I still think the X50, X70 has that covered better, ever so slightly. Alright, continue after the toll, because I need to move you guys down. Okay, never mind. I can do acceleration. Let me try and tap the toll with my doors. So I'll open the door instead of opening the window because you guys are mounted on the window. And see, it doesn't move when I release my. There's no creeping feature. So it's real what I said, you know, it feels like the old people will think, let's do an acceleration. Oh, it's very powerful. Okay, it's a very powerful engine. I didn't even go full throttle. And just now there was wheel spin. I'll check on the tires later, like what tires are they fitted on, and what are the tire pressure. Okay, but this is morning traffic nevertheless. It drives. Okay, one good thing is that when I test drive the X90, I just felt it's underpowered. Okay, this one certainly not so, you know. There were a few times with the X90, you know, cut out, you know, do a big acceleration, and it feels like when you drive a Japanese brand car and a big one, and your car has like a 2-liter NA, you know, it sort of feels a bit like that in terms of linear acceleration. This one, I don't think we would have that issue with acceleration, because on paper it's powerful. Just now the response, the way the clutch lock up and all that is fast. Okay. Fuel consumption remains to be seen. My educated guess is that it will be high. Okay, because that's so far the premise of almost all China brand ICE engines. There is actually an explanation here. Okay, let me explain this to you guys. Internal combustion engines, at the end of the day, are physics. Okay, it's physics. Of course, chemistry. Okay. Now, the road towards low fuel consumption is well documented and well explained. Okay, the road towards there is well documented and well explained. Now, before I go any further, I'll plug in this first. Every single internal combustion engine these days have a balancing shaft. Okay, the inventor of the balancing shaft is a Japanese company. Okay, and every single 4-cylinder engine that has the balancing shaft has to pay a patent or a royalty to the Japanese company that invented this. Now, many people maybe may not know this, but internal combustion engine cars are full of patents from American, European, Japanese companies. Okay, they have basically the road towards good fuel consumption, the things that are needed, the ways to design it, how you shape the valves, how you shape the top of the head of the piston, blah 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 blah. All these things has been invented and patented, you know, covered by the existing big players of the industry. Now, Japanese and Germans, of course, both sides hold a lot of patents, and they sell to one another, okay, at discounted price when compared to Chinese car makers. Let me do this first. Oops. Why? Oh, because I opened the door, it went into P. Another overly excessive safety feature. So they sell to one another because they need one another, all right? And let's put it as that way, they are part of the G7 nations, you know, the buddies, or wow, the double signals came up again when the motorcycle went near me. Okay, so they are all part of the G7 states, or may I call it the vassal states of United States. Okay, They're all small little brothers of US. So they all treat each other well, you know. At the end of the day, money goes back into our own pockets, right? Now, from the path of Chinese car makers' growth, you know, when they are serious with having their own car industry, they actually started very early. FAW started, I think, within less than 10 years after World War I ended. Okay, FAW is that early. Okay, in the 1920s, if I'm not wrong. But you know, the civil unrest, the civil war in China, and then the Japanese imperialism, blah blah blah, and all that, and they sort of, you know, nothing fruitful came out of that. So when they began being serious on developing their own car industry, the amount of stumbling blocks that they go through is insurmountable. Basically, when they're trying to R&D their way into producing better and better engines, they keep stumbling upon patents that are already patented by other companies from other countries. Because at the end of the day, it's physics. You cannot run away from it. That is also, and when I mean, you want to produce cars, you need, you know, car industry is a very slim profit margin business. All right, when your competitors hiked up the patent cost or payments that they charge one another, they see an outsider coming, they're going to rack up the prices. There's no incentive for them to sell you cheap, right? They raise it. And when you don't have a global footprint, you know, back then, of, you know, selling 7 million, 8 million, 9 million a year, you're not able to amortize the cost. So that is the reason why they are behind on ICE. If they want to make better ones, you know, it will. Wow, that's a C63 Black Series. At least it looks like it, alright? So that is one of the reasons. That's why they decided to just skip the whole shit and went into electrification, you know. And because, yeah, so that is part of the reason, okay? I'm not saying that they are as advanced as you know, the 100-year car-making countries like Japan or Germany, you know. But the road to catch up would have been a lot easier if they are a vassal state like Korea, say for example, okay? Because, you know, buddies, G7, yo. Anyway, yeah. So, all in, it's a comfortable car, very comfortable in fact. Just the jerking part, when it comes to launching, probably there is a thing that software can solve it, or an update or something, or if not, then I would urge you to test drive it, and you can also corroborate what I say, whether it's true or not. Alright, you do a heavier throttle, it will be fine. If you are that kind of driver, you don't see a problem with it. If you are the really light-footed throttle kind of driver, you will hate the lurking or the jerking up front. Alright, yeah. The car, yeah, you see, on the go is a very comfortable, spacious car. And in terms of interior fit and finish, it looks like Mercedes, right? Let me tell you, it's fitted better than the current crops of Mercedes products. I mean, a lot of cars beat them when it comes to fit and finish these days. You know, they look the flashiest, they are the prettiest, but when it comes to the fitment of things, I do not know what's going on with Mercedes-Benz. Alright, everything is just creaky and just flimsy and you know, you used to compare BMW and Mercedes par on par. You know, Audi is slightly above, right? Now BMW and Audi is par on par, and Mercedes is significantly below when it comes to fit and finish. Not sure what's wrong with that. Anyway, yeah, good job, Cherry. Oh, for those who don't know, the biggest car exporter amongst Chinese brands, even though Geely seems more famous, Geely been snapping up, you know, Volvo, Lotus, Smart, buying shares into Aston Martin, becoming the biggest shareholder of Mercedes-Benz. one of the biggest shareholders of Mercedes-Benz, and buying Proton, half of Proton, you know. Geely seems more famous to us Malaysians, but the number one exporter of cars out of China is actually Chery. Alright, they are big in Russia, they are big in Middle East, African countries, you know, a lot of, they call it the global south, you know, this term just came up. I don't know when this term came up, you know. It's like, I hate all this term, you know, all this nonsense. East and West, you know, global south, you know, what and advanced countries, developing countries and all that. It's all nonsense. Anyway, yeah, that's how it drives. BZ tires, jerky roll off from the dual clutch. These are the two more obvious things that, wow, good job, brother. Once you're on the move, the clutch performs well, the engine performs really well, and other things I can't judge yet. Tighter turn, the car sits well. Yeah. Interesting. From the perspective of judging against its competitor, okay, its competitor, this car seems to do a little bit better than the Omoda against Omoda's competitor in terms of handling. Okay, the Omoda looks really sporty, but it's more really comfort bias handling. This one, however, has a nicer handling than X90. Okay, this one handles better than X90. Alright. Yeah, it sits better, tracks better, and steering is of course light but accurate, and yeah, it drives well. I think this car will be very, very pleasant on high speed highways, big turns and all that. It's very, very nice. Yeah. For the price that it's charging, you know, 159,000. This is fantastic value. Is it even cheaper than the X90? I can't recall the X90's price. But at this price point, this is, wow, what a bargain you're getting. Right, you get some premium Sony speakers. The screens, everything, the reverse camera, everything, 360 camera, all that looks fantastic. Okay, wireless chargers and all that. Okay, jam again. Oh, jam means I can try the, wait, let me try how to turn it on. Okay, turn this on, set. Wait, how do I add speed? Okay, let me, set ACC active. How do I increase the speed? No. ACC cancelled because of... Okay, let's try again. This 2 button. ACC on. Set. ACC active. Yes. How do I increase speed? Pressing the left button. Come on. Okay. I'm now in ACC. Oh, activated lane keep assist. Okay. I like the fact that it wow. Come on, man. 30 meters. 29. Okay, I'll put middle distance, alright. I'll see how the car goes. It's now... Does it steer? Why does it not steer? Am I in a different mode? Oh, it doesn't light up. When it lights up means it will steer? No. It reads the lanes. Come on, do it yourself. No, it's not. Is it our road markers are not clear enough? It's obviously showing that it can read the markers. Going on and off. Oh, I need to go. Yes, I want you to activate. Not the easiest or most intuitive, because I have no idea what it's doing. ACC off. I want ACC on. I want to set. Yes, I've set it, and I want to increase the speed. Come on, do it. Do it. Okay, everything's light up. It should steer by itself. Okay, it's braking by itself. It's braking by itself. Every single time it goes too near to the marker, instead of steering me back, it just switch off the lane keep assist. Anyway, I'm not gonna test it anymore. I have to go into the settings to see if where the system will help me steer has been switched off or not. Okay, anyway, yep, that's my testing so far. Let's cancel everything and be on our way. Yep. Cheers. I just discovered the two front seats have air-conditioned seats, and the seats feel extremely comfortable. Very nice. That's the thing, you know, 150,000 you get aircon seats. Can I turn this off? Okay. Oh, what is this? Maybe I haven't turned this on just now. Ah, let me turn that on, then I should have lane keep assist, I think. Yeah. Okay, so that's my fault. Okay. It's very, very comfortable. My whole family is asleep. as a budget 7-seater, this car's interior, ride comfort, design, build doesn't feel budget at all. Okay, it doesn't feel budget at all inside here. Everything feels rather premium. The way the indicators sound, the way the stalks operate, the way you feel the buttons on your windows, even pressing them. And the motion of the car when you steer, you know, pretty well judged. Acceleration is good. It's good. I just don't really fancy all the notifications, the pings and buzzes and all that. It's a little bit too much. No, I really like the body control of the car. Alright, for a car of this size, just now that bend and all that, it just sits really well and just glides through. Keeping is, you know, we call it tracking, you know, meaning that when you make a turn, regardless of undulation, how well the car tracks through the intended trajectory. You know, that is a hallmark of a car where the ride and handling has been properly done. It's just that the tires are sending in a little bit too much information for a car of this type. You know, usually, again, maybe I'm nitpicking because of how luxurious the interior felt. If the interior did not feel so luxurious, I would have given it a pass, you know, because there are plenty of Japanese cars at 120, 130,000 that rides like crap. Alright, but this one, the interior gives you a sense of you being in a 300, 350,000 ringgit car, but then you expect that type of plushness and pliancy, which this one is a little bit busier than that. Okay, cheers. Some stuffs that are awesome would be this. Yep, panoramic roof. Car steers really well. This is great, great. All these are fantastic. The build as well. All these are fantastic. So, yep. For 160,000. Yeah, it's worth buying. It's worth buying, despite its shortfall, that dual clutch thingy. Other than that, not much. So I'm now not touching anything. The road markers are not clear, so I can see that the steering wheel with the lines is not turned on, and I have set my distance to the car in front as maximum, so to keep the maximum distance that the car can with regards to this sort of traffic, crawling traffic jam, morning rush hour traffic jam. You see, the dual clutch is coupling and decoupling, coupling and decoupling at this sort of speeds. Okay, struggling a little bit. It would operate a lot more smoother at higher speeds. And in terms of the lane, I'm not feeling it centering me. Okay, nor is it, you know, pulling or pushing when I'm edging too near to the sides. I've already pressed this button. When I press it again, the car with the lane thing disappears. Okay, so that means I'm now definitely in standby mode for when the conditions allow the car to do ACC, Adaptive Cruise Control. Okay, so it stops at this distance, ACC stand active. After a few seconds, please step on the accelerator to reactivate it. Alright, so it won't move now, so I need to step a little bit, then it will continue. Pretty standard nowadays, just that I need to learn or understand at what situation will it enable. But of course, Shah Alam here, the road markers are pretty horrible. You know, they appear and then disappear and then all that. The consistency is not there. But anyhow, in this type of crawling traffic, I sort of appreciate that the car isn't trying to keep steering me towards the center of the lane, because as any drivers in Klang Valley at least, we are all very courteous in morning traffic jam. All of us on the right lane would keep right. You will see every single car in front. All of us are putting our tires very near to the marker, right? Why? Because we are leaving a clear path in the middle on our left side for motorcycles to pass by. Alright, and usually when I drive on the on the left lane, I will also observe that most drivers would try to keep left as much as possible to keep a wider track for motorcycles to pass by. That's how we drive here, at least in Klang Valley, you know, KLPJ, Shah Alam, Selangor, not Selangor, the Klang Valley region, yeah, where rush hour traffic is prevalent. Okay, so yeah, a lot of luxury features. I've turned on my aircon seats, and just now my wife told me the headrests are really comfortable, and she fell asleep, her head dropping left and right. I forgot to tell her that the headrest has wings that can hold her head like aircrafts, like airplanes. So yeah, 老婆，看我，说你的头会跌来跌去。你要再睡吗？ And I can also adjust her seat from the driver's side. There are seat controls, the boss seat control on the seats. So I think, yeah, if my budget is around 150, 160,000, I need a family car. This is definitely one of the better bargains out there. Just that, take note the dual clutch thing. Okay. Other than that, everything's fantastic. It looks great. It's a looker compared to the X90. It's definitely a better looking car, both exterior and interior. In terms of ACC, Adaptive Cruise Control, I still think the Geely Group does a lot better than other China brands so far. Probably with Volvo there. Okay, that's at least how I felt. Okay. Yeah, that's about it. Anything you wanna know, wanna ask, drop me in the comments. Okay. And if you appreciate the way I review cars, which is, I don't care about the length, I don't care about how fancy the video is or the videography is. The most important thing is to car buyers, whether it's informative enough for you to make an informed decision. Okay, because I myself know, as a car buyer, no matter how long the video is, you will watch it. Okay, I'm sorry if my video or the videos in my channel doesn't entertain people who like to watch car content for entertainment. There are so many stuffs out there to watch. I'm also thoroughly entertained by them, but my sole purpose in reviewing cars is for potential buyers who need buying advice or whatnot. And every single Monday I have my live show on telling people, or letting my audience to come up, people who want to buy cars, to come and ask me, what's their budget, what sort of situation they're in, and all that. Okay, so yeah, that's about it. Cheers. Okay, now is the final test. The sound system of the car.
对我着迷，我总是微笑地看着你，我的情意
I am now
总
at
是
maximum
轻易
volume.
就洋溢眼底。
Maximum.
我曾经想过，在寂寞的夜里，你终于在我的房间里，你闭上眼睛，亲吻了我，不说一句，紧紧把我在你的怀里。我是爱你的，我爱你到底。生平第一次，我放下矜持，任凭自己幻想一切关于我和你。你是爱我的，你爱我到底。生平
Okay. The sound is not too bad, and it's reflected from the brand of the speaker, right? It's Sony. So when we see Sony, we won't expect the kind of level of quality like Bowers and Wilkins or Burmester, you know. And certainly, first thing is very stable, even at maximum volume. You don't hear the overblasted bass and all that. And in terms of clarity, it's alright. It's just that you definitely cannot you definitely can tell the difference in quality, whereby the same song, if I were to play it in higher end sound system like that of a S-class Burmester, I don't mean the W205 C-class Burmester, alright? That is at best probably around this level or slightly less, you know, or the more entry level premium cars. So that is really good for the price of the car, but it's not like the type of great sound system where you can hear individual instruments being played and being mixed in your car. It is more like everything is compressed, but no noise, and loud without distortions. So for average use, for daily use, I think it's really good, considered a good one. Alright, I've had worse ones, you know, like the Bose in Mazda. Those are rubbish. Absolute rubbish. Okay, and some low-end Mercedes Burmesters. Those are not Burmesters. and yeah, okay, certainly not as great as the Harman Kardons in Volvos or Bowers and Wilkins, or some unbranded BMW speakers in the higher end cars, 6 Series, 7 Series back then. They're not branded, but they're great. Okay, cheers. I have a request to all car makers. I know these are media test cars, right? But please, 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 tint the cars before you hand it out to us to do our reviews, right? Because Malaysia weather is rather hot, and these new big cars have really large glass areas, and it's hot. Even at 9 a.m. it's really hot and warm. Okay, so I hope all car makers just tint your media cars, you know. You can't save much. Cheers. It's a bit fast. It is fast. It is fast.